When you think of luxury SUVs, the first thing that probably comes to mind is a massive price tag. But what if I told you that you could park a top-tier luxury SUV on your driveway for less than the cost of a new economy car? In today's video, we're going to break down 5 incredible luxury SUVs that you can actually own for the price of an average used hatchback, starting from around 50,000 pounds and working our way down to a barely believable 7,500 pounds. From the ultra-refined Aston Martin DBX to a fully loaded Range Rover autobiography with royal connections, these cars were once playgrounds for the rich and famous. But thanks to depreciation, they're now within reach for many of us. We'll look at what makes each SUV special, what hidden features and quirks they come with, and what you need to watch out for if you're brave enough to buy one. So if you've ever dreamed of rolling around town in a Bentley, Porsche, or even an Aston Martin, stick around. One of these might just be your next bargain driveway trophy. Number 1. Aston Martin DBX. Let's kick things off with a luxury SUV that has left even its wealthy owners shocked by how much value it's lost. The Aston Martin DBX, once seen as the brand's financial savior, has dropped by as much as 60% in value. That's over 100,000 pounds gone in some cases. That's a huge loss, no matter how deep your pockets are. Aston Martin built the DBX hoping to tap into the booming SUV market, just like Porsche did with the Cayenne. They even set up production in a refurbished World War II aircraft hangar. To prove its versatility, the DBX was put through its paces everywhere, from rough off-road trails in the Arabian desert to everyday city streets, all to show that it's not just about style, but substance too. Under the hood, it shares its heart with some AMG Mercedes models and the Aston Martin Vantage, a 4.0-liter twin-turbo V8 pushing out 542 horsepower. It can hit 60 miles per hour in just 4.5 seconds. Despite its performance, it's not the quickest SUV in its league, but it does deliver that signature Aston Martin blend of power and luxury. Step inside and you'll find plush materials, seats personally approved by Aston Martin's CEO, and a smart suspension that adapts to your driving style, whether you want it smooth or sporty. Personally, I'd say it's a cheaper alternative to the Lamborghini Urus or Ferrari Purosangue. Although its looks might not appeal to everyone, due to heavy depreciation, you can now pick up a DBX for as low as 72,000 pounds, and a fairly new 2022 model with around 30,000 miles can be yours for roughly 100,000 pounds. But it's not all sunshine and supercars. Early DBX owners have reported some common headaches. These include battery drain issues, glitches with the infotainment system, and boot problems. There have also been recalls for electrical faults, plus concerns with oil cooler hoses and front propeller shaft fasteners. Being the newest model in this roundup, you'd expect fewer problems, but it seems even luxury comes with its quirks. Number 2. Bentley Bentayga. Bringing the budget down to around $50,000 opens up the doors to pure British luxury. The Bentley Bentayga. Compared to the DBX, the Bentayga leans even more towards refined comfort and elegance. Sharing its platform with the Lamborghini Urus, it combines brute power with Bentley's unmistakable style, inside and out. I'm always impressed by how these high-end SUVs are tested far beyond where most owners will ever take them. One Bentayga prototype, for example, went from freezing minus 30 degrees Celsius snowfields to scorching 50 degrees Celsius deserts without skipping a beat, proving that its luxury is built to endure the harshest extremes. What really sets the Bentayga apart is its ultra-exclusive options. Take the Bentayga Mulliner Tourbillon, for instance, a self-winding Breitling clock made from rose or white gold, set with diamond hour markers. This single option alone can add an eye-watering $170,000 to the price tag. It's an insane flex, even for a Bentley. Under the bonnet, you'll find a beastly 6.0-liter twin-turbo W12 engine, pumping out 599 horsepower. This propels the Bentayga from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4 seconds flat, making it the fastest SUV in this list, edging out the Aston Martin DBX. Despite that power, the engine remains whisper quiet, which is exactly what Bentley owners expect from a top-tier luxury ride. Bentley also goes above and beyond with unique special editions, like the Falconry Edition, which comes with a custom perch, fine leather storage for falconry gear, a GPS tracker for the bird, and even a heated compartment to keep your Falcon warm between flights. All of that inside a car. It's next level exclusivity. Every detail screams luxury, from the headlights inspired by champagne flutes to the premium leather sourced from Northern European cattle, chosen for their unblemished hides. Right now, you can find used Bentayga starting around 45,000 pounds, so about $50,000 can get you into an early 2016 model with around 70,000 miles. However, maintaining that luxury can get pricey. Some owners have faced camshaft failures and oil leaks with the W12 engine. Not something you want to fix on a budget. The gearbox can also act up depending on drive modes, and the infotainment system has often been called clunky and outdated. Plus, like many high-end SUVs, the air suspension can develop leaks or fail altogether, which can quickly turn your bargain luxury SUV into a repair nightmare. Number 3. Mercedes GLS 350D. Let's drop the budget even further and look at the Mercedes GLS 350D, the flagship luxury SUV from Mercedes. Think of it as an S-Class on stilts. Back when it was still called the GL Class, it was already nicknamed the S-Class of SUVs, and that idea stuck when it became the GLS. The GL stands for Geländewagen Luxus, meaning luxury off-roader, and the S hints at all the premium touches borrowed straight from the S-Class. Despite all that luxury, it's still capable when you leave the tarmac. The GLS 350D comes with a low-range gearbox, a multi-plate center differential, and Mercedes' Airmatic suspension, which can raise the ride height for a bit of off-roading or green laning if you feel adventurous. What makes it stand out is how it mixes comfort with capability. The Airmatic suspension even has active curve tilting, which lets the SUV lean slightly into corners, making sharp turns smoother for passengers. A small touch that adds to the plush feel. But Mercedes did cut some corners to keep costs in check, like the manually adjustable rear seats, which feels a bit basic for an SUV in this class. Under the hood, the GLS 350D runs a 3.0-liter turbocharged V6 diesel that puts out 254 brake horsepower. It can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 7.6 seconds, which makes it the slowest and least powerful model on this list. Not exactly thrilling for an SUV this size, but it's all about comfort and presence. And while some luxury SUVs come with fancy touches like wine fridges, the GLS skips that. Still, owners have found a fun hidden detail. There's a secret cubby in the third row that fits a single wine bottle perfectly, though it was actually meant for a first aid kit. It's a quirky little bonus for long trips. On the used market, these start at around £20,000 for high mileage examples. With a £25,000 budget, you're looking at a 2017 model with roughly 100,000 miles. Just keep in mind the usual Mercedes quirks. The swirl flaps in the intake manifold can clog up with carbon deposits, which sometimes means replacing the whole thing. The air suspension is another common weak spot, and with all the tech crammed in, electrical gremlins like infotainment or aircon failures aren't rare either. Let's drop down to our £15,000 pick, the Porsche Cayenne S, specifically the second generation hybrid model. Number 4. Porsche Cayenne. One thing I really like about this generation is that it's aged incredibly well. Even though it's been around for more than 15 years, it still looks sharp and modern. It actually looks bigger than the original Cayenne, yet it's about 250 kilograms lighter, which helps it deliver better fuel economy without sacrificing its presence. It also sits a bit lower than the first generation, but still keeps that off-road ability Porsche likes to brag about. I recently got to take the latest Cayenne off-road, and it genuinely surprised me. It's more capable than you'd expect from what's mainly seen as a sporty luxury SUV. Inside, you get the usual Porsche vibe, clean design, solid build quality, but not over-the-top plush. In fact, compared to the other SUVs on this list, this might be the least luxurious, even though the quality is top-notch and the badge still carries serious weight. It's got some clever touches too, like an F1-inspired self-cleaning reversing camera that uses a tiny jet of air to clear away dirt. Small detail, but very Porsche. Under the hood, this hybrid model runs a 3.0-liter supercharged V6 paired with an electric motor, giving you a combined 374 brake horsepower. It does 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 6.3 seconds, second slowest here, which is pretty amusing considering the fastest SUV on this list costs half as much. Luxury aside, the Cayenne is probably the best value for money here when you balance the badge, performance, and price. You're not stuck with the hybrid either. Now, plenty of other engine choices show up in this price range. Some older examples start at around £10,000, and with £15,000 in your pocket, you can find a decent one with about 100,000 miles on the clock. Of course, Porsche ownership comes with its quirks. Common issues on these include transfer case problems, coolant leaks, and battery troubles on the hybrid. Many owners also mention random warning lights and the reality of Porsche servicing. It's not cheap, and that's partly why these have dropped so much in value over the years. Number 5. Range Rover Autobiography. Let's move on to our 7.5K option, the Land Rover Range Rover Autobiography, from that earlier generation developed when BMW still owned the brand. By the time it actually hit the roads in 2002 though, it was Ford calling the shots. The Autobiography badge marks the ultimate trim level, packing in all the bells and whistles Land Rover could think of at the time. Interestingly, in 2005, Land Rover almost scrapped the Autobiography altogether, planning to replace it with a simpler designer's choice package. But dealers pushed back, especially in markets like the Middle East and Russia, where the Autobiography had become a serious status symbol. Some reports even claimed the Saudi royal family specifically asked for the nameplate to stay. This demand led to some wild special touches. In certain markets, buyers could order 24-karat gold interior trim, courtesy of Land Rover's special vehicle operations team. Back home in the UK, most Autobiographies came with a similar ultra-luxe spec, rear entertainment screens, top-shelf materials, massaging seats, the works. There were also some quirky custom versions. MI6 and GCHQ ran covert operations from modified Autobiographies. The Queen had a one-off version, complete with a fold-out dog ramp so her corgis could hop in easily, plus a heated picnic box hidden in the rear console. Apparently, she used to call the sat-nav voice the woman under the bonnet. Under the bonnet, owners could pick from serious engines. The standout is the 5-liter supercharged V8, pumping out 502 brake horsepower, letting this big lump hit 60 miles per hour in around 6 seconds flat. Today, early examples start at about 5,000 pounds, and for 7.5K, you can find a 2012 model with a decent spec if you're brave enough, and you'll need a bit of bravery. These older V8s are known for timing chain wear, supercharger problems, and thirsty oil habits as they age. Cooling systems can leak, which can lead to bigger headaches if ignored. Plus, like many big luxury SUVs, the air suspension is prone to failure. No surprise given this is the oldest model on this list. I always like to stay positive when it comes to buying used cars, but when it comes to old Range Rovers, I've heard more horror stories than happy ones. So if you're tempted, just know what you're signing up for. So there you have it, the 5 once unattainable luxury SUVs that you can now grab for a fraction of their original price. Sure, they come with some quirks and potential headaches, but that's all part of the thrill of owning a piece of automotive luxury history, right? If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe for more real-world car guides and surprising automotive bargains. I'd love to know. If you could pick any luxury SUV, no budget limits at all, which one would you choose? Drop your dream SUV in the comments. I read every single one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Safe driving.